Apparently, I started to attempt biking at a very young age. I got my first two-wheeled bike when I was 5 or 6. It was a hand-me-down from my dad's best friend, and it was painted bright turquoise. I recall vividly the first time I rode it. I woke up early and was super excited. This was my first real bike ride, and I didn't know if I was going to ride or crash. I rode and rode and rode. My dad started mountain biking in his 50s. He would always ask me to ride with him, but I had turned into a gym rat and I had fake nails and it sounded like too much work. He and his buddy went on a lot of really cool trips and he kept bugging me to ride. He said it would be lots of fun. So one day I did and I was hooked. Little did I know that this sport would virtually define the rest of my existence. It determined where I traveled, the friendships I created, and who I eventually married. I lived in Riverside for a number of years and started mountain biking with a group of guys from work. Our first bike trip was to Moab, and what made it even more amazing was that my dad came with us. When I moved back to my hometown of San Diego, I needed new riding buddies and ended up meeting a huge group of riders, including a bunch of ladies. I formed a really strong bond with some of them, and we found ourselves getting together regularly during the week for whining and dining and goofing off, and we'd get together and ride every weekend. Our first trip together was to Sedona for one of our 40th birthdays. There's nothing quite like hanging out with your best girlfriends and just cutting loose. It was crass. It was intoxicating. There may have been a bit too much butt crack. It got a little vulgar at times. There was general goofing off. And then we'd get up and have this amazing scenery and super fun trails to ride. There was an occasional encounter with some thorns, and we left a little bit of blood behind. It was probably one of the best and most memorable trips I've ever had, and it brought us girls even closer together. It also set the standard for our future trips, of which there were many. We camped in Fruta, we camped in Idlewild, went to Mammoth for my 40th birthday, Phoenix, Tucson, our local mountains, and so many more fun trips together. A few of us eventually got married. One moved out of state, so we saw each other less frequently. 3 years ago in June, my dad ended up getting really sick. He went to the ER one night and found out he had stage 4 cancer in multiple organs and had tumors all along his spine. He died 9 days later. It hit me really hard. We had a pretty tight father-daughter relationship. My girlfriends knew how much he had meant to me, and without having to ask, they joined me for his memorial bike ride and provided the support that I and my family needed. Looking back, I realize how lucky I was, and still am, to have these ladies in my life. We've supported each other for over a decade and have a ton of great memories. The bonds we share are strong, unyielding, everlasting. I look forward to growing old with these ladies and biking with them until we can bike no more.